don't know how every time the Casual Geographic is going to be on my channel, it ends up being about water.
Well, we go 1 for 1.
Yeah. Well,
I think he's got it timed.
Yeah.
I think he just knows.
He's doing it on
He's
purpose.
like, oh, Travis did his, time to put Skittens out.
He explicitly knows our reaction schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
My nose looks so red on camera. Am I bleeding?
No, your nose is just red.
Huh.
You kind of look like Santa Claus.
I've been drinking. Yeah,
That's your nose, buddy.
I scratched myself.
I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do about your nose being red unless you want me to put makeup on you, which I'm so down to do.
That's okay. We support you for it. I'm good. Thanks, though.
I'm just like, the solution is there. The option is there.
There's no solution needed. I look fantastic.
As always.
It's a beacon of hope. Get you something to focus on if you get distracted easy.
What up, Hope Biscuits? It's your girl Skitten back at it again.
And I have on pants.
This is my husband, Chavez. I was already going to introduce you.
I just wanted to let them know I had on pants.
I would hope that they...
I would
hope that you would assume that we always have on pants.
It's a Dashy thing. Dashy shoots in his boxers, and he said every YouTuber shoots in their boxers, and he's lying.
We don't.
What if somebody breaks in and I gotta be like, agile? Here, grab this knife to defend yourself. We're armed. With arms.
Hold on, wait.
And knives.
1 second.
Don't take it out of the sheath. Oh. Put it back, woman.
I thought you said prepare myself.
Anyway,
I was preparing myself.
What are we here to watch?
We're here to watch Casual Geographic. Stop. I got it. He's ruining Finding Nemo with science because he can. The things that I know about Finding Nemo are that because of that movie, people started adopting like the fish from Finding Nemo and then like they were dying. Oh, for the turtles, they had the turtles act like that because turtles do be getting high. I hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are staying safe and sanitized. My husband's nose matches my hair, and that's really all you need to take away from this intro. I'm super excited to see what this video has in store for us, so without further ado.
You know, I did that clanking thing on accident, but it really makes me want a gong.
You cannot.
And we love you.
You cannot have a gong. Oh
Somebody
my God.
send me one.
Yeah, please stop dismantling your headphones on camera.
Let's do it.
I promise we can afford new headphones. He just won't get them.
Leave me alone. I like them.
Remember that time Disney made a kids movie where a man's wife and children get violently ripped off the census and his only remaining son is left physically disabled? Only for that same son to get kidnapped by a trafficker, and now the father has to travel hundreds of miles across predator-populated hoods with only the help of a severely mentally handicapped woman.
Jesus!
Yeah, Finding Nemo is crazy. I'm gonna destroy your favorite movie with science, and here's a challenge. Take a shot, or a hit, because, 420. Every time a main character should have been...
Huh.
Oh?
I mean, hey, do what you want to do. On the state level, it's pretty legal.
I didn't know Casual partook of the devil's lettuce.
Or maybe he just doesn't shame them for doing it.
As you shouldn't.
Or maybe you should just go to the federal level and decriminalize it officially and let all those people out of jail. But that's just my opinion.
Every time a main character should have become a chalk outline. Your grandkids will be in AA at the end. So it starts with a barracuda clapping virtually Nemo's entire bloodline. And here's where we get our first problem. Barracuda don't eat clownfish or their eggs, but you know who do? Clownfish themselves. Clownfish have been known to spawn, kill, and eat their own eggs. So Nemo's mother would have been infinitely more of a threat to him than any barracuda could have been. Now, to be fair, if you ask the clownfish how they like their eggs, they'd probably say unfertilized. Because those and damaged ones are the ones they'd usually eat, i.e. the ones that wouldn't make it anyway. But that goes against my narrative, so I'm gonna disregard it. The other elephant, i.e. the ones...
Considering Nemo's egg was damaged, Marlin would have been the one to eat him. Oh my God. Imagine how much darker this... This is like the Bloomhouse version of Finding Nemo. Where at the end you find out it was Marlin all along. Oh my God.
Ones that wouldn't make it anyway. But that goes against my narrative, so I'm gonna disregard it. The other elephant to address is how clownfish breed. Clownfish are sequential hermaphrodites, where every clownfish is born a male, and the biggest, most him male will transition into a female when the opportunity arises. Such an opportunity would be if a hypothetical barracuda took the alpha female on a dinner date with Batman's parents. That void would get filled by...
Sorry. I normally don't pause it, but I did not see that coming.
Biggest male clownfish in the area, and his spot would get filled by the second biggest male, and the two would proceed to mate with each other. And since the only clownfish we see in the entire movie are father and son...
Look!
Hey, man.
Stop that!
Hey, wait a minute. You're actually ruining this with science.
Oh my God.
I'm upset about that.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna speak about myself in the third person. Chavez didn't like that at all. Chavez needs a blanket.
I'll let you fill in those dots. Clownfish aren't the only fish that switch teams. The Asian sheepshead wrasse does the same, but in reverse. They go from female to male. Although with a face for radio, you will not see them on a movie poster. If Nemo and Marlin having the worst form of family therapy wasn't bad enough, there's a good chance Nemo wasn't ever even alive. What if I told you Nemo means no one in Latin? Which means the movie title makes the theory that Marlin married Itachi suddenly gained legs. He also could have...
We already know that, right? Yeah. We already, we all read 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea?
Yeah, it's one of the most popular, theories that came out after the movie.
We know this, yes? Okay, all right. Just making sure.
Been named after Captain Nemo from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Yeah.
But that goes against my narrative, so I'm gonna disregard it. It's easy for facts to get lost in favor of a better story, and if you don't know where to look, you'd have no way of knowing. Like, you may have heard that the administration started putting tariffs on penguins. Now, personally, I think it's been time those business chickens ponied up. They've had it too good for too long. But I gotta pretend to be partial. So that's why I'm working with Ground News. Ground News is an app and website, and how news exactly who they're of like with biased or right-leaning, respectively. You can additionally on islands only populated possible boom. And that's a great thing about Ground News. My penguin prejudice had me confused at all. Change and not like grand screen, progeny, and his father's and until you do.
Give me the 10 seconds back.
Now. Nemo's mom passed tense her progeny, and his father's going Marlin to Marlene as soon as he gets off screen. Alright, so Nemo is going to school, and when we get there, we meet these guys. And I remember, as a kid, I was not sure what Pearl was. Well, she's a young flapjack octopus. They're remarkably adorable in real life. Problem is, if this were real life, she'd be a lot less cute. The flapjack can be found in depths as far down as 1,500 meters, or 100 meters short of a mile, or about 3.5 Empire State Buildings. And since this pink propeller hat can withstand crushing pressure, if she existed where Nemo could see her, she would be turned into disfigured mush. Think about how getting pulled out of their habitat turns a normal-looking blobfish into a deflated, misshapen whale fetus. There's a whole corpse that got memed, and Pearl being where the sun shines would reduce her to flamingo vomit. Also, at one point, Pearl says this about her arm.
It's actually shorter than all my other tentacles.
Well, octopus usually have one shorter arm called the hectocotylus, and its job is to deliver baby batter directly to the female, and in some species, it detaches for the female to swim off with like a Costco coitus card. In fact, the bedroom arm might have a mind of its own, since it can swim to the female, and it's believed it can even sense danger. So two things, Pearl's not a girl, and that is an indecency charge. And that's not the last time we go down that road either. Now we're gonna ignore the fact that flapjacks don't actually have a hectocotylus, because that goes against my name. So after Nemo sees his first pink slip, we then meet Mr. Ray. Not to be confused with the op of the Irwins, because Steve wouldn't even want that. But also because Mr. Ray is a manta ray, non-venomous and completely harmless. Now I don't know if they did this on purpose, but they chose arguably the smartest fish in the ocean to be their teacher. Manta rays are considered the most intelligent, with the largest brain to body ratio of any fish. The overachieving aquatic placemat is apparently capable of problem solving and advanced communication. They're also self-aware, with more than one occasion of a manta ray checking itself out in a mirror, and they were even caught waving and blowing bubbles at their own reflection. Just for reference, that's not how they'd react to another manta. Some mantas have even been on record asking divers for help removing hooks, so yeah, makes sense this one would have a teaching. Anyway, Mr. Ray gives
being self-aware is one of those hurdles that I had to get over going from childhood in the 90s to real life.
Right.
We just lied about stuff. We just treated all animals like soulless, demons.
Yeah.
And at the same time raised cattle as pets. And we just never got the connection.
Right.
They know what they are.
Yeah. Well, some animals, right? And there's other animals who don't.
Yeah, there are some animals really, really dumb, like chickens, and some animals really smart, like cows.
Cows being smart was not on my bingo card, so when you told me that, I was like, oh.
When you can teach them to play fetch, now you're really doing something.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Makes sense this one would have a teaching degree. Anyway, Mr. Ray gives the kids a marine magic carpet ride through the reef. Stop, right there. As a kid, it used to drive me crazy that I didn't know what that was. Years later, I have the answer. Spanish dancer. This specific pancake is a nudibranch, aka a type of giant sea slug, and a species known as the Spanish dancer, named after the flowing frills of a flamenco performer. It looks a lot like what SpongeBob got caught watching in 4K, and ironically, sponge is what they eat, and they'll actually steal their toxins for their own use. It's essentially cultural appropriation with poison. They also play for both sides, but unlike clownfish, they're born with both equipment. Now for how they use it, well, sometimes two slugs will donate nativity nectar to each other and head on their way. Some sea slugs have two penile appendages, one for delivering baby batter, and the other to stab their partner through the head to release a substance believed to brainwash the receiver into accepting their love juice while internally rejecting that of a rival.
Could you run that back? Sorry, we took a hard turn there because I was like, you know, 2 peens. That's kind of cool. No, one's a hypno receiver.
Right.
Somebody's into that.
They are slugs. He said nudibranch, and I was like, so they're not slugs. And then later he said slugs. I was like, so they are sea slugs. So, but then he gave us everything else.
Yeah.
Also, this shirt is fucking cool.
It is actually very cool.
He's jellyfishing.
He's jellyfishing. Just going with the flow, dude.
Yeah.
To each other and head on their way. Some sea slugs have 2 penile appendages, one for delivering baby batter, and the other to stab their partner through the head to release a substance believed to...
Where's the knife?
A
knife!
Go for it.
So one is like this, you know?
And the other one's like this. Oh. That's a good joke.
Stop that.
That's a good joke.
No, it's not.
I have on pants. I covered that already.
YouTube is going to demonetize us. My God.
Just blur it out so it looks like I'm doing something.
Brainwash the receiver into accepting their love juice while internally rejecting that of a rival. How do Spanish dancers do it? I don't know. I honestly stopped looking because I can only read the words traumatic insemination so many times. Also in the movie, that specific dancer has a name. Canonically, it's Maria. Or I guess Mario. I guess both. So anyway, you know how the story goes. Eventually they get to the drop-off, the kids start doing the type of shit that got Harambe packed, and Nemo decides he really wants to live up to his name and gets himself kidnapped. His father tries to save him, but gets flashbanged by a camera. And yeah, that's accurate. A camera flash might not kill a fish, but it's severely disorienting and like a forced factory reset. That's why they say no flash photos in the aquarium. One time a tuna mistook a flash for a fish and proceeded to one-shot itself into the glass in front of several children. So I take it back. I guess it could have murked Marlin if it made him split his skull in a piece of coral. A little while after that, we get to Dory. She's a regal blue tang and a species of surgeonfish that gained a lot of clout from the movie. She's also venomous with a caudal spine that extends whenever the fish is stressed, meaning Dory has a built-in prison shiv. Not only can it cause severe pain and deep cuts, you're also liable to catch a nasty bacterial infection. That's why they're called surgeonfish. Because they will cut you. Dory would also conceal carry a toxin called ciguatera, and poisoning can lead to migraines, trouble breathing, and hallucinations. So yeah.
I experienced that anyway.
Hallucinations?
Well, not the hallucinations part.
Oh.
But the migraines.
Yeah.
But the migraines and the shortness of breath. I have asthma.
The beloved Disney character can be a real headache to deal with in real life, although to be fair, I've heard the same said about her voice actor. Not long after that, we meet Bruce, and considering he expeditiously kidnaps and essentially escorts them to an underwater white van, he might just be a predator in every sense. But when we see all 3 sharks, they swear by vegetarianism. We also see this guy. Remember him. He's gonna be important. Now, there actually are vegetarian sharks. More than half of the bonnethead shark's diet is seagrass. It turns out, whale sharks eat a massive amount of green. But considering we're talking about a great white, a hammerhead, and a mako, the only thing saving a clownfish and a blue tang is they're technically too small to even be worth the effort. Also, when Jaws cries about never knowing his father, it's because many sharks exhibit multiple paternity, where one litter can have several fathers. Shark mommy's womb is like a baby batter bouillabaisse, where paternity is like a lottery system. That was really...
Nigga, please!
Description.
What is wrong with you?
Oh my God.
What is wrong?
Oh my God. He read that, reviewed it, recorded it, and posted it. I love it.
I understand that we are all fans of alliteration, right? I get that. But there has to be a line drawn somewhere.
He's so good at it, though.
Oh my God.
Oh.
How do you... I need to see the bloopers.
Yeah.
Because there's no way you said that for the first time with a straight fucking face. There's absolutely no way.
What if he's numb to it?
There's no way. There's no way this is a one-take thing. Absolutely not.
You don't believe it?
No way.
Shark mommy's womb is like a baby batter bouillabaisse, where paternity is like a lottery system. Jesus. That was really gross.
Thank you.
I'm gonna tone it down.
Thank you.
But yeah, Bruce has no way of knowing who his father is. But it could be worse. Baby sand tiger sharks will cannibalize their siblings.
They do. Can y'all hear that?
I don't know if y'all can hear that, but our neighbor's kid is incredibly unhappy right now.
Wailing.
Jesus. Sorry about that.
Way of knowing who his father is. But it could be worse. Baby sand tiger sharks will cannibalize their siblings while in utero. And we know that because one time a scientist tried to slide his hand inside a pregnant shark's nookie and almost got his finger bit off.
He did what?
Okay, so later on, Marlin and Dory decide to dive into God's blind spot. Now, ignoring the fact that the pressure should have popped their eyes out and pushed their organs out of their mouths, they nearly get sent to a Tupac concert by...
Jesus Christ.
Anglerfish. Now, fun fact, if you watch the credits, that anglerfish lives a vorophilic wet dream when it gets swallowed by the little anxiety guppy from earlier. Funny thing is, it'd be the other way around. Anglerfish can distend their jaws and stomach and swallow prey physically bigger than they are. They extend so far that it inspired one man to pleasure himself with a dead anglerfish's stomach, which...
I did not need to know that.
Even a little bit.
That's not science! You have to limit this to science-based gross.
That was upsetting.
Oh my lord.
So we're going to move on from that. And we're going to talk about the fact that people were romanticizing that anglerfish like swimming up, right? Mm-hmm. They were like, oh, anglerfish usually live like down in the depths and they never see the light. And she knew she was dying, so she swam up because she wanted, like, they were turning it into this like inspirational thing. This is a sign of the apocalypse. Because she is not supposed to be up here.
Fleeing darkness.
Like, this is not, oh, she wanted to, so she did. For my last act, I will see the sun. No, like,
what part of Twitter are you on?
When I'm telling you, everyone was like, they were inspired. She inspired art pieces. She inspired jewelry. There were quotes made about this.
Are we all right?
This is bad. It's bad.
When the apocalypse comes, we will welcome it with open arms.
Right. Somebody's going to be like, girl boss. Like, no.
The flaming death comes for all of us. But if she wanted to, she would.
Oh, my God. She believed she could, so she did. Why?
That's so good. And little do we know there are horrors in the depths rising to consume us.
Let me tell you, she would not be up here if she had a choice.
Oh, man.
Extend so far that inspired one man to pleasure himself with a dead anglerfish's stomach, which promptly sent him to the hospital. Should have sent him to solitary confinement. That is a hell of a hear me out. The kind that should forfeit your right to human contact. It's not long after that we meet a lot of 90s kids' first introduction to rage bait. If these moonfish were humans in 2025, they'd be kick streamers. In real life, fish will use this shoaling strategy to intimidate predators using the hive mind method. On a large scale, it's pretty cool. It makes sharks swimming through them look like an Etch-a-Sketch. But when predators like tuna gang up on them, it turns the bait ball into a slaughter. Also, just a callback, the reflection of the sunlight off the prey's scales is exactly why a camera flash can make a tuna crash. Out that is. Now let's talk about Nemo. Because Buddy would have really become a no one before he ever saw his dad. Let me tell you about osmosis. No. So diffusion just means molecules will move from one area of high concentration to low concentration, and osmosis is that, but for water. Stay with me now. As a saltwater fish, Nemo would normally have a higher concentration of water inside him than outside, so high to low, water would leave him like his mother left the mortal plane. To avoid meeting her, Nemo would have to take in water while his kidneys work to pump the salt out. But put him in fresh water and the opposite happens. Now the concentration of water would be higher outside Nemo than inside, so high to low, Nemo would get internally waterboarded. So Nemo being flushed in a freshwater sewage plant means he would not make the sequel, as his cells would swell and rupture, and he'd get packed up by water poisoning. Also, fun fact, one line in this movie led to the deaths of thousands. You want to guess what it was?
All drains lead to the ocean, kid.
Just like that, Disney sent countless amounts of pet fish to the gulag at the hands of dumbass little kids, and if I had fish at the time, I would have been one of them. It also inspired children to set their goldfish free in the wild. Giant Goliath goldfish is why you do not do that. It's a bug-eyed invasive that's basically a nuke to the natural habitat. Now, I'm not blaming the movie for that. It's a bug-eyed invasive.
Did you see the giant... What are those things called? The tadpole? It's a tadpole-shaped goldfish mass.
That's insane.
Now, I'm not blaming the movie for this, but their hands aren't clean. The irony is, a movie about letting fish be turned a lot of wild fish into pets and a lot of pet fish into the wild. Anyway, back to the father. Eventually, they both get taken by a whale. And oh boy, there is a lot to unpack here. Stay with me now. That was a blue whale. Not only are they the biggest things alive ever, it takes so much energy for them to open their mouths, they only do it when they're guaranteed enough krill calories. Not only that, blue whales take in so much water in the process, we're talking 10,000 gallons or like 200 bathtubs. The effort it takes to carry all that means the blue whale can barely move. So yeah, Bluey would have been physically incapable of carrying them to Sydney. But even if they could, Nemo still would have come out of it an orphan. When blue whales hold all that water, they squeeze that water out with their tongue, and anything not water gets trapped in their baleen. It's how they filter feed, which means our fish friends would have been crushed to death by an 8,000-pound tongue. That's the weight of an elephant. Also, it would have been...
Now you know you ain't had no business.
What?
Put that clip in there.
Oh, you talking about plankton in his booty lid? That's why y'all eat ass now.
You know.
Why did you pause on his butt?
I wasn't trying to. It's not the intention.
Plankton
you know
hiney.
you ain't had no business doing that.
Been crushed to death by an 8,000-pound tongue. That's the weight of an elephant. Also, it would have been physically impossible for the whale to shoot them off at Sydney, since the blue whale's mouth does not connect to its blowhole. Also, whales don't shoot water out of their blowholes. It's really just warm whale lung air meeting cool outside sea air with some mucus, and it smells like a tire factory married the final boss of tonsil stones.
Ew.
So if smell kills, they would have got a guess pass to fish hell. But ignoring all that, eventually they trade one live Uber for another.
But why did they go to hell?
Right.
Why is it fish hell?
What did they do?
And also, I appreciate he said also.
Yeah.
Friendly pelican saves him from a flock of hungry seagulls. Seagulls are a feathery antichrist and the spawn of Satan. And they should be afraid of pelicans, since pelicans are documented literally swallowing birds alive. In fact, one of the most traumatizing documentaries I watched was where Cape Gannets were nesting on Malgus Island by the thousands, but because of overfishing, great white pelicans started pulling up to the nursery. What followed was a bunch of today pterosaurs strolling across the island like a grocery aisle and swallowing any unsupervised chicks alive. Like, you could hear the chicks as they were sliding down their throats, only for the pelicans to fly home.
We've seen that.
I erased it from my memory.
Yeah.
Just to regurgitate the recently devoured baby birds for their own pelican chicks to eat. So yeah, Nigel might be the real villain here.
Right.
Now that didn't really have to do with the plot, but I just sat here and overanalyzed a kids movie from 2003 because I have nothing better to do.
From when?
In this video.
No.
What?
Finding Nemo did not come out. No, 2003.
When did you think it came out?
2010.
2010?
Yeah.
That when you saw it? When they finally let you out the house so you could go see what...
No, I saw Finding Nemo like right around when it came out.
Yeah, man. Classic. It's officially a classic.
150,000 movie from 2003 because I have nothing better to do. And if this video gets 150,000 likes, I'll do it to another one. You can probably guess which one. Friendly reminder that I do have a Patreon if you'd like to support me beyond subscribing. But as always, in this economy, don't spend a check on a creator that, let's be honest, really doesn't need it. Only if you want to like buy me lunch or something. Also, I have a book. You should read it. Link also in description. But that's gonna do it. Drink water, hug your mother, don't dump goldfish. That's for real a problem. My condolences to your childhood. I will be doing it again.
He's got a whole graveyard.
I'll see y'all in the next one.
He's gonna fill the graveyard. Nice.
What on earth?
They're just chilling in the current.
Like drifting.
They're clownfish, but they're jellyfishing.
There's no more seconds in the video. So you guys can stop yelling at us about not finishing the video, okay? We made it the entire 14 minutes. It's over. It's
not
done.
gonna stop me. I quit these videos when I'm damn ready.
That was terrible.
Was it?
Like, it was a great video, but also it was terrible. That was upsetting. Was it?
Yeah.
What was the most fun part about it?
The dead fish sexual assault for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, that was
I was gonna say, was that fun?
The baby consumption.
Yeah. The stabbing of the...
Mm-hmm. And then the mind control.
Yeah.
So maybe this video was horrid.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want it to admit myself. Is that you happy now?
Yeah, I am actually.
All right. Well, it's time for me to go. So...
I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave your reaction requests and recommendations down in the comments below. And other than that, peace out. Hope Biscuits. It's Skittin' Lit.
How long did you work on that?
I didn't.
Really?
Yeah.
You've just always known how to do that?
Yeah.
And you just pull it out now?
Yeah.